Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. PSR is excited to present to you Last Call, featuring your boy, the pimp slap POD, Mike M.
Pimpin' ain't easy, but it's fun like money. Got bookies on the run, now it's time to get money. Not the typical way to ball. This last call like some convicts waiting on the next draw. You can feel the tension. Did I mention? Fools better pay attention, cause we getting paid like a pension. T's on the ones and twos, we not the ones that lose. Mike, money's killers might even make the evening news.
And now, let's get to the picks.
We be pumping! Buzz Sports Radio, you know we be pumping!
What up? What up? Welcome into Last Call here on Pub Sports Radio, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Today is Thursday, May the 9th, and that means we bring in our Thursday guest, Mickey the Mac, Daddy, to help us crack out this NHL, NBA, and the Major League Baseball slates tonight. Small slate, which is where we do our damage. You guys already know the deal. Gives us more time to dig into these games in particular. We had a lot of fun with some afternoon baseball. We got some plays underway right now. The Yankees and the Stros are rolling out there. But then we've got ourselves a nice evening slate. So I hope you guys are ready. If you're just popping in here, appreciate you coming to watch the show today. Hit the thumbs up button for us. Show the support. Show the brand here. Help them let us know where we're spending our time, where we're getting all that last-minute information to kick the bookies in the face. And that's what we're here to do tonight. You guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to dig in. We got playoffs time here, man. Playoffs are so much fun. The NHL, albeit they weren't so kind to us last night there. The Edmonton Oilers. Oh, that was a kick right in the stomach. But we're going to roll back tonight. We got the Rangers going on down to Carolina with a 2-game series lead. Carolina desperately trying to get back into this thing. Then, of course, we've got the Avs and the Stars. We all know what happened that last time around there. 3-0 lead for Dallas in the first period, and they crumbled like a house of cards out there, losing that game, and we cashed that Colorado spot. We'll see if we have more of that magic tonight. And then, of course, the NBA. You already know we got the Cavs and the Celtics, 7 p.m. pop-off. The Mavs and the Thunder. And, of course, in Major League Baseball, smaller slate tonight here. We've only got ourselves, 3 games? The Guardians and the White Sox starts at 7:40 p.m. The Cardinals and the Brewers at 7:40 p.m. And then the late night special, 9:38, the Kansas City Royals and the Angels. And we got action in all 3 of those games. Why wouldn't we have action? Small slate means we go out there and we hurt them. We make them squeal. Today, you guys, appreciate everybody coming in here. 3 things we ask you to do with Last Call. Smash the thumbs up button, show the support, help us build this community, and we want to let them know that we're out here doing it on the regular. Grab yourself some pen and paper, lots of plays to write down despite the short card, including all those shared with our chat. Oh, so sharp, sharper by the day. You guys are doing a great job, man. I love seeing the back and forth, the messaging, the updates on X out there with big winners. Love to see when we're out there getting that cash with plays that we share from the show as well. So last but not least, you guys, throw those plays in the chat. Let us see what you guys are on, how you're trying to get paid as well. We're all working with the same goal. That is to crack the bookie skull. Let's do just that tonight. And we're going to move fast here, guys. Short show, but lots of action to go through tonight. So we got to keep that brisk pace. You already know what that's all about. And let's see what's doing up in this chat there. Of course, our guy, Joe T. First guy in the chat, ready to roll. He says, let's get that cash. NHL plays are both first periods over and full game overs for our guy, Joe T. He's double dipping on the over train in the NHL tonight. Should swept all the overs last night. Early play for him is the NBA play the Timberwolves by 30 for our guy here. Sneak peeking tomorrow's action with that Timberwolves by 30. Actually, I believe that's Friday. Tomorrow's already Friday. Can you believe it? Where does the time go out there? Joey Harb in the chat. San Fran, Colorado over 9.5 was money. We missed it last night. You know, we were right there, plus 400, but we ran it back today. We're not scared of them low totals at Coors. We nice little casher out there, Colorado. Made us sweat the total a little, but never in doubt with them Rockies getting the job done. Shout out to everybody that tailed that play, including Joey Harb out there, my guy. J-Stone9 says, Leon went out for a little bit with the legend cramps, but we worked close. I'll be back on it next game, assuming he doesn't have an injury. In winner's circle, says, hey, yo, Boston, OKC money line, Stars money line, Guardians plus 1.5 for our guy. Winners circle. It's great to see you in here, my guy. And there's Josh. Josh lowered 34. Just like to mention, I hate the Oilers. To blow a 4-1 lead, then blow a 4-2 lead with 6:37 to go is absolutely insane. I had a lot invested in that game, Josh. It's funny. It's not funny. It's disappointing, but I had it broken into 3 different plays, and I was able to live cash one of them for almost the entire smash. And then that 4-2 comes around and everything just dropped out the bottom. So it was a loss. It hurt. It didn't feel good whatsoever. We shut the stream down 2 periods deep, looking good. We get to that 3rd period and it just crumbled out there. Joey Harp says he needs the Yanks over 4.5. I saw they just put 2 runs on the board, so we got a little 3-2 Houston Yankees action. He says, I hope all the Oilers players turn their ankles. Well, that's an early series, my guy. We got plenty of time to go. All that Edmonton did there was give us a terrific opportunity to smash them at a lower price point. But shout out to them Vancouver Canucks. Who knew they were going to fight like they had? They had a couple of games of fight in them there where they were down going into that 3rd period against Nashville. And they did it again against Edmonton. So maybe we're going to have to start taking them boys just a little more serious. I see my guy Justin McCalvey in the place. Says, what's good? We're looking forward to his minus 175 play of the day. Justin, I'm kidding. Gerald Jones says 3 winning days in a row. Best bet, the St. Louis run line first 5 plus 110 out there for our guy Gerald Jones. Ron Lofton, oldie in the house. Rude Boy, what up, Rude Boy? Says, what up, my guy? It's good to see you back in action, Rude Boy. Thanks for coming in, hanging out with us. My guy, Juggler23, gives us the wise guy action, shares them NBA trends that I love so much. He says, teams that score 112 points or more in a second-round playoff game have gone 105-25 straight up, 129 against the spread. Celtics should qualify there. Nice little 77.5% win rate for our guy, Juggler23. Ron Crawford in the house. What up, Ron Crawford, my guy? I tailed you on that LG twin spot last night. Easy casher out there. Appreciate you giving us the looks. Cooking the books, baby. He's giving us one tonight as well. NC Dinos minus 140. Make sure you follow my guy, Ron Crawford, on X and catch all his overnight action out there. Help him get it done. Justin's going to tail that play. There's John in the house. John C. says, Pimp Sheets is back. Ron, we had the request. The boys want us to get back together and collab on some baseball. So hopefully we can find some time to make that happen this summer. Kenny Wood in the house. What up, Kenny? Says, what's up, Mike? What's up, my guy? Perky Bumps. Is that Ron Crawford? Thank you, KBO, again. It was nice 4:30 a.m. morning. Appreciate it. Kogi Cam in the house. What up, Kogi Cam? Ron Lofton says, Diamondbacks money line plus 125 and Yurfie. Rockies game, Yurfie. It was a Yurfie fest this afternoon. I've got a Nerfie for the evening slate, though. Don't have them too often, so I've got a nice little Nerfie record. I don't just take them lightly. Scrubbed it up and down, left and right. I think I found a good spot up for us to attack. Blah, blah, blah. Let me get my tongue working with my brain out there. Jay Stone 9 says, absolutely love the captain play down in the series, going to kick some ass parlay of the day, 4-unit bankroll builder. Sebastian Aho over 2.5 shots. Jamie Benn over 1.5 shots at plus 155. I like that look. I like that look quite a bit. I like that little collab or a little aggressive shots on goal opportunities. Jamie Benn needs to get his ass together, and Sebastian Aho needs to keep it rolling for Carolina to stay alive. Perky says, Pimp Slap the boss. I'm like, number 23. What number were you? Let's run it up and harass some bookies. So I faded Hunter Green and sweat that one out today on the Yanks, and looking forward to collabing with everyone on some evening plays to smack the bookies directly in the sack. Ronnie Lofton's got the same game parlay. The Celtics minus 8.5 and Tatum over 9.5 rebounds for our guy, Ron Lofton at plus 160. Perky says, Ron, good call earlier on the Diamondbacks, bro. Yeah. Here's another day in a row where I'm sitting there waiting for the Cincinnati Reds team to get something in the bottom of the ninth, and they just let me down. But that's okay. The Grandma Panty plays went 1-1 on Jimmy the Bag Show earlier today, plus 2.5 units. We got the ribeye coming up tonight as well. We'll talk about that for that game in St. Louis. Perky Bumps has woke up to the Oilers trashing me, but Ronnie C helping me hedge for plus moolah on the KBO collaboration at its best. Kogi Cam likes the Shea over 29.5 points at minus 102. They snub my man. That's good money tonight. And there's Nasty Nate a.k.a. the mechanic. The guy has more wrenches than anybody you know out there. Nasty Nate's in the house. Got the Celtics clovers out for him. ZC33 cashed the Astros up too early. I'm surprised they're still offering that boost. Nice job, my guy. You know we take road teams and plus money spots. I hope you get that. Well, you already got that cash. How about that? You got it in the first inning. You didn't even have to sweat that thing. So good for you, my guy. Perky Bump says, Nasty Nate trifecta. Can I trust minus 11.5? See no other way the Celts tonight get the job done. RVD 420 in the house. Says, what the hell happened to the Oilers last night? They crapped the bed. My God. That was disappointing. Unbelievable to see the way they just melted. I mean, they came out so fast. It was like, holy shit, we got this cash. And then they just rolled over. Yeah, he says, should have been easy cash. And we lost. Nothing funny about that. Nothing fun about that at all. Perky in the house. T. Gray says, Pimp, let's eat just about dinner time. Of course, man. You guys figure out dinner. You figure out the cocktail selection. Let us help you guys figure out where to put your cash to get that money. Let's build them bankrolls tonight, you guys. Andrew G says, OG out for New York. Here come the Pacers. It starts tomorrow. Ha ha ha. Respect. Perky says, respect the big daddy wrench master, a.k.a. Nasty Nate. And Ron Lofton says, OKC minus 4.5 seems so right. Excited to talk about all of those games with you guys. Juggler 23 says, Carolina out shooting the Rangers 82-62 in the first two games. Igor can't stand on his head every game. Hurricanes huge for Juggler 23. Well, appreciate again you guys coming in here. Take a peek down if you haven't done so already. Please smash that thumbs up button for us here. We need you guys to help us grow this thing. And it starts by letting know where you are spending all of your time to get that last minute information to cash plays on the regular. Let's recap yesterday real quick, and then we will blast into this thing. Kind of a mixed bag yesterday. I mean, obviously the Edmonton spot was bad for us and the Bruins spot bad for us. However, the over 5.5 in the Bruins game cashed, so we got that money in the bank. We look at the Knicks game, right? We had McBride over 1.5 threes, and then the Knicks and McBride over 6.5 points. Guy was the worst guy on the floor last night. I think at one point he was down to a minus 22 or a minus 23. Literally the worst guy on the paint or on the hardwood last night. And no question he wasn't going back into that fourth quarter. That was a big opportunity for the Knicks to press forward. And you're not getting more court time in the fourth quarter of a playoff game if you're minus 22. So double losses there in the NBA definitely hurt. Baseball, Colorado over 9.5. That one, we didn't get there, right? We got there tonight, but we didn't get there yesterday. We did cash Minnesota. We did cash the Pena RBI, which neutralized the loss on the Houston money line. 2 days in a row, Atlanta minus 1.5, and the under 9.5 was a nice plus 240 spot. The Tampa first five, team total over, killer. Them boys lost all right. That's kind of the way I roll at it there. I say cover or get effed, and getting F means you're taking a big L. So that, in fact, happened last night with Tampa Bay. And then the Cincinnati, debacle. They added this play right off the hop there. Cincy loses the game. They pushed the first five. Happy to take that push, but they lost the Cincy and the under 9.5. So let's get to action. Let's close down yesterday, and let's just focus on today here. Let's start it off, guys. I told you before, we've got the Steam report, some new tools that we're going to continue to introduce across the board. We'll recap yesterday. We'll talk about today. Then we're going to jump into the NHL. So, actually, I take that back. We've got just the 3 Major League Baseball games. So let me flip this order around here. Let's just keep it flowing. Let's keep it congruent here, right? Steam report yesterday. They had 5 plays for us. Minnesota wins. Washington lost, but it was extra innings. If you had the plus 1.5, good for you. Moneyline did not cash. Houston Astros lost. Detroit, Colorado, difficult spots to be out there with the Steam report yesterday. Today, though, they gave us a 7-pack? A 7-pack on the Steam report today. Cincinnati made it again. They lost. Obviously, we saw that game 4-3 again. Arizona just got their number, I guess, as it turns out. Colorado, Rockies on the Steam report. There's a win. Seattle lost. Houston in play right now. They're on that report. Then we got Kansas City, St. Louis, and Cleveland. You guys, new tools, as I mentioned, that we're going to continue to bring into this thing here. And this is just a measure of kind of that initial overnight action. So, throughout the day, we'll talk about how the lines have evolved or how they've moved throughout the day slate here and into the evening. But, just kind of an interesting measuring stick to see where was the early action involved yesterday when they first opened them lines up. So That's all that is, simply just a weather vane. We just want to see what direction is this wind blowing, and then how is that kind of transformed as the day has gone on. Has it gotten tighter? Is it getting looser? Where are we at with these opportunities? So simply put, that's what it is. Let's roll in here. We'll bring our guy Miggity Mac on very shortly. He's going to get up and rolling for us here. See what you guys have to say before we jump in there. Andrew G says too much steam burns. Yeah, there's a few of them out there. Not the end all be all for us, but we'll measure it. If the report goes to shit, then we will certainly scrap it and try to go and revamp and keep moving. But it's been on a nice little run, so we're going to keep our eyes on it. Steve G says Rockies won. I need to make my money back. Let's get it, Mikey. Steve G, my guy, got the Nordiques in the logo there as well. I mean, Rockies in the over. Well, I can't. It is what it is, right? We 1-1 between the 2 days in those plays. Plus money, though. That's what happens when we go plus money hunting. Perky Bump says, at Joey Harp, they got this. I am all over it. Andrew G. And then says Joey Harp says, let's go Perky. Let's dig into some baseball, you guys. We'll keep it rolling. We'll keep that brisk pace. And we'll keep things moving in the right direction. 7:40 p.m. Eastern. I mentioned we've got two 7:40 games, then the late night 9:40 spot out there. And this game we're going to start with is the Guardians and the White Sox. We've got this Guardians team. Despite the early steam, there has been overall afternoon pounding on this White Sox. 79% of the bets and 87% of the cash on the Guardians. The line has dropped from -162 to -154. The total is dropping as well. Started at 8.5. It's all the way down to 7.5 in some markets. That's a reverse line movement, by the way. 94% of the bets and 92% of the cash on the over, yet it's dropped itself a full point now. Tricky game. We got Fetty starting out there for the White Sox. This guy's got a 3.46 ERA. Surprisingly, he's got himself a 2-0 record. He's finding run support. Then we got Ben Lively on the Guardians bump at 2.08 and a 1-1 record. I heard earlier today that there's a chance of rain. It looks like there's about a 35% chance of rain in this game here. And it's going to be chilly. It's going to be 53. The wind is going to be whipping as well. And to me, that does feel like it's under type of weather out there. This is a tricky game. Tricky game for a couple of reasons. One, I don't like to get involved when we get to these weather games out there, but because we've only got a 3-game slate, we're going to have to thread the needle. And, at the end of the day, for me, I was looking at this thing here. You guys know the deal. We fade the White Sox in the first game of a series. We also fade the Cardinals in the first game of a series. And this is what's got me kind of swaying. I'm turning into the storm in this case here because I do have my 2+ run bonus pack out there. If you want, I don't know what do we call that? The bonus chip, the 2+ run score cash out deal. I'm going to use it on the White Sox. Crazy. I know. I get it, but I'm looking at this thing and I just think, a couple of different factors going on here. For me, first and foremost, Fetty's been playing decent. He's catching the run support with the 2. Now we'll count it for the full game because some of you guys won't be privy to that up 2-run early opportunity. But this is a spot where I absolutely want to be. I know normally we look to take the road team in this case, but the road team's the favorite. So I like an opportunity for this White Sox team, at least to start out early. Lively, we kind of look and see what this guy's capable of doing. And on any given time, he can go out there and mow him down. When you look at his total K props out there, boy, what's going on with this thing? There was a refresh out there. Over 4.5 strikeouts for Lively is -142. So kind of the early summation looks like they're expecting him to go out there and be able to touch these guys up, or at least keep their bats on ice. And frankly, if you're going to keep any bats on ice, it might as well be the worst bats in Major League Baseball. We know that's exactly what this White Sox team is. However, I still can't resist it out there. I see this Guardians opportunity, and I think, to me, I just need to get that 2-run early. And it's a +135 spot. So we're a reverse line movement against the Guardians. Line me up with the White Sox. We talked about how bad this lineup is. We talked about the ability for Lively to shut him down as well, and Fetty playing decent. This is going to be where I take the Nerfy as well. No run first inning for me. It's -120. I don't even know if it's really that juiced. And I hear our guy, Miggity Mac, in the house. What up, C-Mac? How you doing, my guy?
Mikey.
Let's go.
Man? What's going on? Shout out to the chat. Already over 110 in here. Hit the like button. Appreciate you guys up in here. I'm sure you've hit them all up, Mikey.
Longest intro
you're a
in the
great
business.
host.
You already know.
No, I think you're second. No one could beat Jimmy's intros lengthwise. You're right there.
Well, C-Mac, we had fun last night. I said, shut the stream down. We're up, looking good for Edmonton. You got your over cash. You got your Vancouver cash. I'm holding the bag here with this.
I know. A little sour there, Mike. He's like, oh, you have the Canucks?
Yeah.
Do we have recording? Because I think we could go back to my actual bet. We got the picture, the shows. That's always good when you can go back to that. But I know you were pissed. That was crazy. At that point, I just wanted the over. I was like, but yeah, that was a crazy third period for the Nuts.
Vancouver, man, they find a way. They're scrappy. They're gritty. They continue to fight. They don't just give up. And, what I did hear after the game too is Evander Kane went postal inside that locker room, getting in guys' faces. Several players had to cool him down and put him on ice as well. So, the guy did jack shit, but, he's upset at the very least. He's trying to turn the noise up, turn the volume up in that locker room. So,
yeah, we'll see. He's way past his prime. I think he'd rather have some money on the game.
I think he probably did.
When he first came over, he kind of played well last year. I remember late in the year. That's what I say. But yeah, go with Evander Kane then.
I hopefully that sparks him up and we can catch a nice number tomorrow with them Edmonton Oilers. But
go
back to him. Fuck yeah!
Don't learn your lesson, Mikey.
I'm gonna have to get clubbed down, and even after the series is over, should they lose, I'll probably still try to take them. So maybe I'll put some odds on how they play golf in the offseason. But C-Mac, we got ourselves a streamlined slate tonight. We got 7 games in total between the NHL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball. I just jumped in on my plays here with the White Sox. I'm going after it. I know it's a little crazy, but at 135, we got reverse line movement against these Guardians. Do you have any action in this Guardians-White Sox game? How do you think this one's going to kind of go down?
I get the move. White Sox finally win some baseball games, 9-28. And the last, 10, they probably won 3 or 4. At least the offense is maybe perked up a little bit. Shout out to our guy, Perky. I saw him in here. Perked up a little bit. But, I don't trust them. So they win in Tampa. They could have scored way more runs in that game. I had Jimenez at RBI. I was bitching about it last night on the stream. Yeah. Mikey. So Sheets has been better. Pham, obviously, old guy plug-in from here in Vegas, Durango High School. Tommy Pham, about the same age as me. Right around there. Might have been a year later. I don't trust it, though. Sleepy spot here. The wind's not, on all these ballparks, it's crazy. I guess it's a tiny bit out to right. It's more of a side wind. You mentioned the weather, 50 degrees. I don't trust these lineups at all. Ben Lively is the guy probably due to get, and the last game he got out of it, he had 3 walks in that start. And his last couple, he's worked out of it. With a game like this and a lineup, he could do that again. So I like it. And Fetty, who's had a great start to this year, finally got tattered, the old Fetty that I remember. But he's crafty. Shout another guy, UNLV, my guy Eric Fetty, first-round pick from UNLV. Fetty, I think he pitches well in this one. You hit on it. We touched on this very late last night, Mike, under, and now we're seeing it come all the over money. And finally it's moving, though, the 8s to 7.5. I'm on the under 8 in this game. I have to take it with, you look at this, people are just going off the pitcher, so regular better. And the lineups have been better, even the Guardians at times and the White Sox, but I don't trust them. And that 8, I had to be on the under full game in this one. A little side note, our favorite ump behind the dish here, Angel is back, Angel Hernandez. Oh, and, one thing, he's been for the most part, one of the top, especially the last 5 or 6 years, basically his whole career, but one of my favorite under umps when I go through it. Guess what he is this year, though, Mike? 6-1 to the over. Really? So I think we're going to start seeing it, in it. And that's going to happen, but I think the more and more, because this guy's zoned so big, we're going to start seeing his under slip in. So the more I see that number 6-1, makes me like it even more. Both teams, home, road, all the crazy splits is over 5 runs, almost 6 in certain spots, but Under for me here. And I don't blame you for the dog. Tough spot for the White Sox after the win in Tampa.
We'll have to see if it does get going here because our guy out there in Chicago giving us boots on the ground reporting, Joseph Alvarado. Appreciate him always coming in here, giving us what's happening on the lowdown in Chicago. Says, bro, it's raining. In Chicago, personally, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I saw that.
We'll see. I thought it looked like it was going to potentially blow out of there, but I certainly don't like to get involved in rain games. This is a tricky spot, man. I don't
mind it. I see cloud, but hey, I'm not a meteorologist, Mother Nature, and half these sites are off. So yeah, I see the drizzle at game time. Then there's like an hour and a half, and then maybe light rain later. But we'll see if we can get it in. I'm on the under.
And Coin likes that under with you there. He likes the White Sox under. BetMGM had it at -115 for our guy Coin. And John says it stops at 8. So we'll hope for that. We'll hope that's the case that it gets done with there. Deshaun G says Bobby Witt Homer. Let's talk about game number 2 of 3 on the docket here. Another 7:40 start. We've got the Cardinals and the Brewers. Man, the Brewers have been finding a way to cash tickets and fighting from behind to come up with some of those W's as well, albeit last night was certainly not their fan forte out there. But we got this thing that started at -120 for the Brewers. Screaming reverse favorite situation now to +120. 41% of the bets and 68% of the cash on the Brewers. We look at the total. The total's coming down as well. 8.5s, similar, down to 7.5s in some books. Yet 77% of the bets and 72% of the cash on the over. And I think the big situation here, we got Myers, right? Myers going back out there on the mound at 6.23. This guy has been lit up like a fucking fireworks, C-Mac. He's 0-2. He's not getting the run support. On the other side of things, Sonny Gray. And Sonny Gray has been pitching out of his shoes here. 0.89 ERA. Good enough to record a 4-1 record. Them boys have been firing here. I'll tell you, the first play that I made, I gave it out on Jimmy's show here, was the RBI play of the day for me is I'm going to Arenado in the 4-hole. C-Mac. As maybe it's not a sexy pick. Is he in the 3-hole now?
Yeah, 3-hole.
This fuck. 6 and 1/2 a dozen in the
other. All right.
Yep, there he is. There he is. In the 3 spot there with Nootbaar and Donovan. I'll tell you what, I like to take me some Nootbaar, but every time I play that fucking guy, he just rolls over. What do you think? Does Tobias Myers have a way to come out here and show out this game? Is that Milwaukee luck train going to keep rolling, or do the Cardinals find a way to get the job done?
Let's see here with the Cardinals. One thing they got to like is Sonny Gray on the mound and how great he's been to start the year.
Yeah.
Brewers, though, one thing they've hit right-handed pitching. This seems like a bad spot for Sonny Gray, though, a little bit. He's just been so fucking good. Brewers hit righties well at home. This could be the start he gets ripped a little bit. The lineup for the Cardinals, it's just, man, it's fucking ugly. Mikey, have you seen it here now?
Yeah.
I mean, I want Nootbaar or Gorman. These guys have done jack shit. These guys are hitting like $170, $190. Goldschmidt hasn't done shit, really. Conjuris is out. He got hit by JD Martinez. That horrible bullshit. He's trying to get out more in frame. I saw the whole thing on it, and he gets rocked. And look at all these other guys in the bottom of this order.
Sure.
But Tobias Myers hasn't been good at all. This guy's he's one of those, obviously wasn't on the radar to move right up, and he was very good, pretty good in the minors, like for what, but he's been there for 7 years now, but he's had some decent years and decent ERA. He just hasn't been able to get it done. One guy who's been horrible for the Dodgers that I look at, Gavin Stone, finally pitching well, a guy that was big prospect, pitched well in the minors, and man, it was a struggle for him when he first came up. And he's got, he got tattooed here, and the long ball has been the problem here for Myers. He's given up a couple. So shitty lineup, maybe like Nootbaar, Gorman, Arenado, these guys can get going. Donovan, this would be the game. I think the Brewers, though, I don't give a shit. Sonny Gray here as favorite. With a lineup like that, I think the Brewers are the look at home, even though with Myers. I'm going to move, though, on Willy Adames. I'm going to take him. He's in the 4-hole here. Mikey, Sonny Gray, I mentioned this could be a problem. He's been dynamite, but he's 5 for 10 off him with a double and a homer. Every once in a while, Adames swing and miss type guy, but when he hits him, Jack City, big double, big hit. So take his ribby. I did. So plus 190 in that 4-hole. And I put a little on the homer, plus 650. I think the price is crazy there at home, Brew Crew.
I like the look. I've been an Adames fan as well. You're right. He's boomer bust. And if he's getting the RBI, he's probably getting the home run. So I love the look. I think that's a creative way to go about it. I was torn. Cardinals. The Cardinals as a favorite in the first game of a series are a fade. I don't have the number exactly in front of me with this spot here today because I was originally thinking about jumping in on the Cardinals, but I'm going to go a different direction. I think this Tobias Myers, I think he does find a way today, at least early, at least one time through the rotation, if not two. His 2 starts there, he allowed 8 earned runs over 8 innings. Not good. But those teams were the Cubs and the Yankees, and the Cubs are one of the most prolific offenses right now. I can't believe it, especially the time that he faced them out there. Michael Busch banging things all over the place. And then the Yankees, and we see what they're doing out there as well. So maybe not today, but the Cardinals are not that. And you talked about how shitty this middle and bottom of the order is for the Cardinals too. I went a little different with this one here. I've got the Arenado RBI spot. I'm fine with that. I'm gonna roll with that. Roll with the punches here. I wonder what it moved to. It's dropped 5.
Still should be good though, right? For 155.
It's still plus 150s out there. So earlier today it was 155. So I'm seeing it move in the right direction. I'm going to go somewhere that I don't normally go to here. I'm going to go with the strikeouts. I'm going to take Tobias. I'm going to go over 3.5 strikeouts for this guy.
All right.
It's a little pricey. It's a little more pricey than I like to be involved with. It's now moved up to minus 135, but I've been tracking the movement on this thing today, and it started at around minus 120. So we got about 15 cents of movement in his direction. And again, it's just this, the Cardinals lineup, the bottom of the order for this Cardinals lineup to me is where I think this guy's got the capability. As long as he can get through, I know I'm kind of splitting the atom here by or splitting the dollar by trying to get Arenado in there. I'm not trying to get too cute with it, but maybe it's leaky early and then he comes back and he hones it down. I'm also on the under 8. I like the lower scoring run.
Yeah, let me hit on it, Mike, because that's gone from 8, basically now all 7.5s. So, yeah, they think you pitch well. And even Gray will pitch well again in this one. And all it does is steam here to the Cards. I think it's a little bit, though, a matchup. Cardinals, Gray, they just see the name and a little bit and why this is moving. I just think it could be a little bit dangerous. But the other side's, Myers here. So
it's like I said, I originally wanted to go with the Cardinals. I know that I'm already fading myself in the White Sox first game of a series situation. I looked at the Cardinals first 5 Cardinals full game, but plus 120 wasn't enough for me to get involved in that one there. I can get down with the Brewers. They got that magic touch right now. I just want to see more of a pitching duel, but hone in there. We'll see if we thread the needle between your Adames RBI home run and Arenado to get the job done. So fun stuff. We got 1 game left in baseball. Then we'll flip over to hockey and the NBA. Plenty of time to go here. Nice small card for us here. I do still see the under 8 as minus 118, by the way, at Bet River. So shop around, you guys. To C-Max point, there's 7.5s pretty much across the board, but a couple of books are still hanging the 8. You might have to alt line it too as well. I think the 8's important though, because we've seen that when these things get down to 7.5s, they tend to go past the initial steam movement. But 9:38, the Kansas City Royals, the LA Angels in play out there. Kansas City on the old travel spot here to Los Angeles. We know Los Angeles has been down and out without Mike Trout. We got a line that opened up at minus 112. Pretty much no movement. It's 55% of the bets and 52% of the cash on the Royals. Literally no movement. It's minus 104 on the Angels. Minus 104 is where it started. That's where it sits. And similar spot with the total. It opened at 8.5. We have 79% of the bets, 80% of the cash on the over. We don't have any movement there either. We're sitting, in fact, you could argue it's juiced to the under at 8.5. There's minus 118s to minus 120s. So it's not quite reverse line movement, but this is an interesting matchup. We got Waka Waka out there for Kansas City with a 5.5 ERA. Then we got Detmers on the other side of things with the Angels and a 4.24 ERA. I know our guy Wine Time, the Angels whisperer, I know he likes to get involved. Every time I see him taking Angels under, it kind of has me at attention and taking a look at what's going on here. But, despite the Trout situation, I was somewhat impressed to see how the Angels rallied back in Pittsburgh. They came out with a 9-0 win and then a 5-4 win to close the series. Back-to-back Mid-East, if you will, road series there. Now they're back home. The Royals going on the road for the first time. Split this. They went 2-1 against the Brewers. Struggled against Texas, but that's when the Texas bats kind of came to life. So I thought the real test out there was kind of saying, okay, in my mind here, as I looked at this game, C-Mac, I kind of discounted those Texas games because the Texas bats just lit up. And we've seen now with that Oakland series as well. The Milwaukee game, where Milwaukee's been finding a way, they came out 3-2. They lost 6-5, and then they fired back to finish off the series 6-4 before traveling out to Los Angeles. So interesting spot here. Do you think Waka has some old form Waka, or do you think he's kind of washed and all done?
Yeah, shout out to everyone up in here. Rogue Energy, good to see you, my man. Al earlier, I said what up. Seen him in it. John, Perky Bump, there he is.
Perky Bump.
Kelly, what's going on? Bankroll Spence, as always. Jesse, Dana Delt, my dude, he likes Yelich. Yeah, hey, get on, get a couple. I like it. Dustin, everyone else, Andrew G. Appreciate you guys. I think these pitchers can pitch well. It's tough to go off the form, though, here, Mikey.
Yeah.
The Angels, the Angels, there's a couple of those games I was on, one of them took care of the Pirates. I mean, this lineup is not good, but some of these guys, Adele's all right. Of course, Taylor Ward, Calhoun, and a few others. One place Detmers has been really good was at home, and all of a sudden he gives up 4 or 5, and on that last road start he gave up 7. It was just horrible. Waka, the year before that I thought was a little bit crazy how old he is. He pitched well last year. He went like 14-4, some shit like that with the Padres. He hasn't looked great early on, and the Royals are 22-16, so they gotta I think he could pitch well in this one. When I look at lefty, though, with Detmers, if he pitches well, it's tough to go with props here. Again, I think he could. Someone already put it in the chat in here, Rogue under. I kind of like this under. Yeah, I didn't bet it, but I looked that way. Massey, okay, he's in the lineup. That was good. He wasn't earlier. Him, Renfroe, of course, Bobby Witt, Perez, all these guys, they like lefties. And when you go through the numbers, it's tough because Renfroe's a little bit platoon. It happened with me when I took him a week or so ago, 2 at bats, and then yank him for, you know what I mean? Pinch hitter if the game's tight. So that's the only kind of shitty thing with him because his numbers are big. So yeah, I lean under in this game. Even the Angels a little bit at home. What about you?
Yeah, I like Michael Massey.
Yeah,
Mikey M. He's got the right moniker to start with to begin, but no, it's specifically his last 9 days. He's got 9 RBIs, I think, is the course out there. He sat a game, had a bad game, came right back to it and fired. He's got experience against Reed Detmers as well. 3 at bats, 2 hits for a 6.67 out there. It's like you mentioned there. It's kind of a tricky. How about Michael Waka though against the Angels? The guy's got a 14-4 record against the Angels. I was surprised to see he's got a winning record against anybody, but I guess you spend enough time out there, you'll get the job done. And you're right. I thought this was a tricky spot when you look at I'd look at Taylor Ward potentially as a guy to get the job done there. I know, he's the guy that kind of stirred the straw that stirs the drink, so to speak. But I went to the first 5 under 4.5 in this one. Give me these 2 pitchers, kind of on the surface, you look at them, you think, oh, this is going to go flying over the total, but we don't have the movement. We see that these guys are kind of priced in that position where they're maybe suspecting that it's going to be a lower scoring situation. It's the first game of a series as well. Kansas City in the travel spot, LA without their big bat there. I just thought everything lined up for me to take this first.
I like it.
The under 4.5.
Yeah, I might move on it too.
I got a minus 120. I thought that was the best way to attack that game, and not necessarily get in and out of this thing. Just I see Bankroll Spence as ugly 3-1 type of game. That's probably spot on. It wouldn't surprise me. I know a lot of you guys are saying the same thing. Can't really trust the Royals in this position, but it wouldn't surprise me to see the Royals kind of come out of this thing on top. I don't like them at the minus 115 price tag. So under 4.5, I see it's minus 120 at BetMGM. So plenty of opportunity to take advantage. And it's still 4.5 pretty much across the book. So keep that in mind. We got essentially frozen line with everybody pounding in on this over. Coin says LA traveled back from Pittsburgh. That's a great point as well. Man, you guys are sharp as a tack out there. We're all working together to get it done. It sounds like Sounds like we almost have a unilateral consensus across the chat and the panel here for this under on this LA Angel spot. Shout out to Sub. Shout out to our guy, Subhuman Gaucho, gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. My guy, I got to hang out with him on screen the other day. He's been cashing. He's been banging him over the head, and he's always in here, a regular, getting it done, giving us his best looks there. The Subhuman hockey plays of the day as well. And speaking of the devil, there it is. He's got the Canes Rangers first period, both teams to score at plus 200 for our guy Sub. Look at this, man. He's got a record kicking out there, 24-18, plus 19 units. Plus 19 units for that guy there, kicking ass and taking names, C-Mac. And he's helping us grow the community, one membership at a time. How about that?
Hey, I love it. No complaints from me. Shout out to my dude. Love my man, Samina Gaucho.
I was inspired by his $25 parlay the other day. I put one together earlier today. Sadly, it was hinging on the Cincinnati Reds getting the job done, and they did.
Reds, tough. I'm gonna look up because I just want to look up Royals against lefties, a few other things because I think I'm gonna join you, and it seems like everyone else. I'm just gonna go through a few things. That's a late game too, right?
Yeah, 9:40 start. Yeah, I got 3 hours till first pitch, so plenty of time. Kelly V says Allen officially out. Jarrett Allen is out of the game. Futon Bet's confirming as well. Tarek B says I got the Royals on the money line. I'll tell you on that first 5 under. Let's get it. I like it. We're all coming at this one looking at the same thing there. Rogue Energy says agree. 100% 3-1, 4-1 type of game. Could be 8-1 Royals money line. 8-1 would surprise me, but there's certainly the bats are capable of getting the job done. If I was going to lean on any of them, I would probably have to lean to Kansas City. But let's roll on. Let's talk some NHL, C-Mac. We got ourselves a nice setup of games tonight. The Rangers rolling into Carolina. Nice little 2-0 series advantage out there. And despite the public banging away on this Carolina Hurricanes team, modest, if any, there's been a couple of cents movement away from Carolina. Everybody's hammering in on this over, 79% of the bets, 82% of the cash. And we don't really have any movement in the total, 5.5. Interesting way to kind of start this 7 o'clock slate off here. We know we've got Shesterkin rolling out there, and he has been so hot for these New York Rangers. What he stopped, 55 pucks there that last game. Freddie Anderson coming in there, sporting his record, but struggled a little bit there to start this series off in Madison Square Garden. Now they go back home, down 2-0. Do they get a little bit of opportunity to make this thing 2-1 in this game, C-Mac? Oh, C-Mac's gone. He'll be back. I'll tell you what, I think this one goes down, you guys. I think this is a Ranger series. They're already up 2 games. They took the 2. What do we know about Carolina? We know Carolina on their home ice, they've been one of the better under teams in the NHL across the board. Specifically, I think this comes down to, and why that's important for this game, there's no Anderson. Let me do a little goalie update now and see what's happening. You're right. Kochetkov out there. I like it even more. I'm already on the Rangers. Give me the Rangers at plus 145. You got to change goalies. You can't let this one go down 3, right? You just bad place to be if you go down 3-0. But I think that's exactly what happens. Where I roll with this one is I roll from this game being a Rangers game. I think Carolina wins the next game, and then I think again they take it down on Madison Square Garden ice and they win the series 4-1. So, yeah, Josh Lower says Carolina can't score on the power play. They kill their own power play with dumb penalties out there, and so I see the goalie change out there, and it is confirmed. So they're going back to Kochetkov. I don't know.
I would. He's got to be the play. I think, right?
You can't lose this game, and I think that's what's going to happen. Now, I originally kind of attacked this. I thought maybe we see more scoring in this thing here, but the more I started to sit on it, C-Mac, the more I started thinking Carolina on their home ice has been an under team. They've been holding teams down, especially the better the team, the lower the score. I just don't know if the Rangers come out with reckless abandon, but I know that the Rangers are just like the Bruins in that, their high probability scoring chances or their high risk score chances are, I think, second in the NHL here for the postseason. So New York Rangers, for me, they're going to get my cash. I'm a little skeptical. It's not my favorite play on the board, but
yeah,
I've been rolling plus money with them here. What do you think?
I don't blame you. One thing, in those first 2 games, I was on the Rangers both.
Yep.
Game 1 and game 2, I thought the line was crazy. I just thought the Rangers should have been minus 120, 130. They're plus, they're minus 105, and then they're plus 105, and it's a little similar. This is stretched a little bit. They just think the Canes are a little bit better. It's minus 160, minus 170. I thought, maybe 150 here, at home. That's where they play their best hockey. That's why I'm not going to go Rangers game 3. I don't mind. It's plus money, and I've already hit the first 2 games with them, but the Canes have been so good at home. This price, though, because I'm not going to take a puck line. Maybe first period, minus the half, if you want to look that way. And they've been great at home to the under. What I brought up, why one of the Rangers, even all the steam, they've been playing great hockey at home, and the Canes are very average on the road. That's just been, whether it's in the playoffs the last 2 or 3 years and during the regular season. They've just been a different team flat out, and they play a lot better here at the house. So is the defense, the goaltending, the whole thing. So that's kept me off. Some of these, and you think it's under? I want to take the under because the Canes better at home, their defense, but I don't know if we get that.
The last 3 games have opened up. Now that 6-3 win against the Islanders, series closeout situation. So, they opened that one up, but 2 4-3 games in a row. Neither goal, as many shots as Shesterkin saved. It's hard to say that neither goalie's making the stops there, but 4-3, these offenses are just that much better than these goaltenders, which is probably the easiest, the most no shit thing to say out there. But here's how I think the game opens up. A tight conservative game plan from the Hurricanes, trying not to let that first goal get scored in there. They got to play some more disciplined hockey because they're struggling
early. Yeah.
The thing that concerns me is I thought Jake Gunsel kind of got activated that last game. He was quiet. He was the guy they brought in at the deadline to make the move out there to kind of fill out the roster with the experience, the classic rental player, if you will, that you try to bring on as you're making a Stanley Cup push. And he was quiet predominantly that entire Islanders series, or at least he didn't stand out to me. And maybe quiet's not fair to say, but non-existent that first game with the Rangers. And then he came out like a bat out of hell that last game. He was playing physical, a little stupid at times too. He took some he punched a couple guys in the face. He took some stupid penalties, but he was firing. He was up. He was rolling. He put the puck in the net. He was productive in the offense and kind of becoming that rounded out top 6 guy that Carolina team needs. So I'm definitely, I got my eye on that guy as far as being a guy that's going to make an impact in the game. Vincent Trocheck, though, there's another guy. Talk about Panarin. You can talk about Zibanejad. Those guys are fire for sure. But, Trocheck is overtime.
I had Lafreniere. Half a point was like plus 140 or 135. 135 last game. Man, he had 3 or 4 points, a couple of goals. Tonight, real quick, on the side, Sebastian Aho. The guy's been there forever. He needs to step up. Snevenchkov. He's 2. His goals are around plus 250. I look at him there. So I think those 2 got to be big for tonight. And you're getting a good number. Decent number, in it.
Yeah, you could pick up Aho around plus 180. Mm-hmm. I'm on the Rangers. I'm taking the plus money shot. Like you said, I'm trying to look at these series in silos, regardless of, the results for the overall bankroll. 2 wins in a row with these guys at mispriced spots here. Now they're sitting at that plus 140. It's just too much value for me to pass up on.
I don't blame you. That's why I thought them at home. I get it.
Yep. Anything official?
No, from here. I might have some on these goal. Yeah. Here, we only got about 15 minutes.
Rolling on.
Nothing crazy.
9:30, we got the Avs and the Stars. We try to see a little bounce back from Dallas. What a letdown that last game was, man. They went off. I mean, not for me. I was on Colorado, but Dallas goes up 3-0 and they blow the game. I jinxed myself yesterday with Edmonton. I said this could be like that Dallas-Colorado game, and sure enough, it was. Georgiev going back. Unconfirmed with Ottinger, but who the hell else are you going to go to out there? I expect it to be Jake Ottinger, and if anybody sees differently, please let me know when it comes down to this one here. Home ice in Dallas, despite everyone talking about how loud and raucous the arena gets out there, hasn't really meant shit. They lost those first 2 games to Vegas. I'm inclined to think we get another situation here. This Avalanche team, we talked about it last night a little bit too. They're just dangerous. They can just turn it on and start scoring from any angle on the ice out there. And, Wyatt Johnston finally getting effective and involved out there. Certainly that's a big deal for them boys. Wyatt Johnston, first goal scorer, plus 1,200. Anytime goal scorer at plus 175. Robertson, plus 190. Anytime goal scorers as well. But I tell you what, I double whack this one here. I'm going to Colorado again at plus money. Say it like it's a broken drum here, because I think Cale Makar is one of those guys where he's effective in producing. He's that offensive defensive guy that you need out there that makes that dangerous weapon on the ice, and he'll start buzzing around, and so will the rest of the Avs. I think there's goals in this game too. I'm going to go with the full game over 6.5. It's low priced. It's even money spot for the 6.5 in this game here. No reason to believe we don't see more goals being scored in this game as we did that last, unless Dallas wants to come out there and just completely shut them down. And I find it hard to believe that's going to be the case. What do you think?
Shout out to our dude, our guy Wine Time. My man, what's going on? Juggler. Paco Healy, what up, my man? Good to see my dude Paco Healy up in here. Ronnie Lofton, Illegal Flyer. Assy Nate, as always. Getting ready for Celtics. We're about to hit on it. Just said it, Mikey. Over.
Yeah.
Over 6.5. Either team, so if it's either side, I think the team that wins is going to score 4 or 5, and the other team's going to get 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. I'm on the over 6.5. There's not a way and there could be, of course, a 3-2 game. I don't believe it. I mean, hence Ben, Sagan, these guys, it's the same bullshit in the playoffs. I mean, that was good. They beat the Knights, but I don't know. I don't trust them, especially in big games. And if they do win, they got to score. And the Avalanche right now, they're just like, scored is it. Like they're not, when they won the cup a couple of years ago, the defense was better in the goaltending. They could win a tight game. I don't think they can really anymore. And they know that for the most part. Not that they could go get one game like that, but they got to score goals because they know they're going to give some up. So I'm with you. I'm on the over 6.5.
Yeah, I think that just makes the most sense. Let's keep it moving. We got 7 o'clock, 2 games in the NBA here for you guys, and we're getting right up to first tip time here. Cavs and the Celtics. Line open at 13. Slight movement to 13.5. 70% of the bets, 68% of the cash on the Boston Celtics. The total's moving on up from 211.5 to 213. 92% of the bets, 93% of the cash on the over. And boy, what do you want to say? The Celtics, they found a way to put it in drive. They won that last game 120-95. Beat that. Straight beat that. Now you still got no Jared Allen. Now, the difference is, you could fade the star player maybe the first game he's out. That was the last game. Well, you faded him. They still got the shit kicked out of him. They're going back here. Really, it's almost the same line, same total. Everything seems identical to that last game, C-Mac. And I guess the challenge here, the question is there any reason for you to believe the results are going to be any different in this game? I'll say this, teams that either won or lost the previous game by double digits as heavy favorites are 21-1-1 out there if the total's less than 214. So it's the Boston Celtics spot again, 21-1-1 for the Celtics. Kind of a weird number there because you either busted up by double digits or you got busted up by double digits. And you're 21-1-1. Numbers are identical. Everything seems to be the same fit and everything else that goes along with it. But how are you getting paid in this game?
Yeah, I with a total like this as low, it worries me a little bit. One thing I didn't take was game 1, the Cavs team total. I think it was like 96.5 or 98. And they could get to 100 here. I don't think they can. They haven't shown it. Basically, on the road versus the Magic, Mitchell's got to do so much. No, Allen, they just don't have it. They just don't play fast enough. Now, good shooting could get this over, but I don't know how they break 100 tonight at all. They need to step up somehow with their defense. I don't think has been the same as it at times during at least the regular season, maybe the last 2 years, and they're not healthy. It'd be nice to have Allen in there. A couple I wanted to hit on Boston. Derek White. I mean, he's just emerging here as a guy. His point total, I know it's 17.5. I worry he's maybe due for a game that goes under. But how do you not have something on his over 17.5? I mean, he's just shooting great. And this gets me to the other one here, Mike. Jason Tatum. His role isn't as big. Even to end the year, like the last 5 or 6 games, Tatum didn't go over his point total I know it was the end of the year. They were kind of dicking around. They had everything locked up. But every game this postseason, his point total's gone under. It's 27.5. So if he has a big game, he gets over this. But those are strong look for me. I didn't bet it yet, but under 27.5. Unless he goes off, it's more Brown, more White, more Holiday, and Tatum just needs to score probably 20. So I look at his points under 27.5.
I like that look with Tatum. I like his under. I took his under the other day.
You did?
Yeah, when he doesn't show up, or when it's big opportunities, he seems to just be.
And it got over by 1 that game against the Heat. He scored 28.
Yeah. So they're and these totals are just fucking sharp. We heard Jimmy talk about the Operation Garcia and what's been going on with some of these unders, kind of regressing with these games that have been scoring, but I don't see any reason to change the formula. I look back at my notes from the last game because these numbers are really. First of all, one of the guys I do like is Evan Mobley in the rebound spot. He seems to be the guy that stepped into that Jarrett Allen.
He's got to. I mean, he was going to get boards anyways, but you're right. Yeah.
He's got 13 or more rebounds in 3 of the 4 games that Allen missed. The thing is, his number started at 10.5 this morning. It's moved to 11.5, probably because of the official news that Allen's out. But you can get the 10, you can get the 11.5 at even money. So I'm not mad at that spot, but I'm going right back to it. I looked at what we did the last time that worked. The Celtics team total under 99.5. It's minus 120. I don't like the juice that's on that, but I'm okay with that. Give me the team total under. They just don't get to 100. I'm going Celtics first half minus 7.5. The one I'm adding, same play as I had last time. The only difference is it's up a point. So the first half under 109. The fact is everything's been identical. That was a push last game, and they scored a shit ton of points in that first quarter. It just doesn't feel to me like that's.
The Cavs have had this shitty fucking quarter, Mikey. I'm sure all you guys know, like whether it was the Magic, because some of the first halves even they were good. They'd have a good quarter, a couple, and it was like a third or a fourth. They score like 12 points, and it's like head scratching. It's like, what the hell? And I think that's all it takes maybe here tonight.
Good for a big letdown, and I think we see it. I think we see the same situation here again. These guys are just kind of, once Boston decides to D up, it's shutdown city. So now AOD says nasty Nate special guys. I realize I got to get a couple bets in here still. So let's talk about this last game on the board here. The Mavericks and the Thunder.
You're good, Mike. That game's over 10 minutes.
Oh, I still got okay.
14, yeah.
Good. C-Mac, let me tee this one up and then maybe just kick it off while I drop in. I got to get this hockey going here. The Mavs opened up 4.5. It's now 5. 64% of the bets and 58% of the cash on the Thunder. It went to 5. It's dropped back, though. There's been a little late buying in on this Mavericks team. It's moved the OKC Thunder back to 4.5. The total's dropping from 219.5 down to 217.5. You got 92% of the bets and 93% of the cash on the over. C-Mac, talk to us about this game here. I'm just going to go and drop a couple.
Yeah, hit it. Wow, there's already a little bit of movement here to the first half. There's some 1-11.5 now. You know what? I had that. The NBA's been really good this playoffs. This is one of the loss the other day. It was 23-23 after one, Mikey. 67 points, and they got 69. Shots just dropped everywhere in that second quarter. Barely got over by 2 points. But I still think this is too high. This is one, since games later, that was just a wait for me, and I might have to get on in it. I think Mavs OKC under. The Mavs, if they need to be in it, have to play defense, some sort, if they can. And Luka, though, there's so much love to this over and the Thunder. All the money's on it. Like, it's just nuts. A lot of money's on the Celtics. This is just all OKC, all over. That makes me want to look the other way. I always think there's a little bit of advantage. I like going full game, but I've just took advantage of these, especially just in the playoffs. Regular season, maybe not, Mike, unless I see something that I really, really like. I'll go to the first half. So I might be right back on it. The first half, under 112. And Luka, I think he's in a ton of pain, but I think he could maybe hang in this game. I might be the only crazy one. Mavericks +5 is my lean.
Mavs +5 for our guy C-Mac there coming out.
That's where I'm looking. I'd rather be just on this first half under, this all day is, I gave it everything. Was it's a later game. I want that, and I like the movement already to the under. I already saw all the money on the over, so I'm gonna probably be on that. But I'd be the other way. Is everyone just thinks the Thunder are gonna roll, and maybe they do. The injury to Luka is what keeps me just like where I haven't bet it already, or I just come on and say fucking take him. If he was fully healthy, but he's not. And some of these guys, Kyrie's got to do a ton. Maybe he does. I don't know. But yeah, I lean the Mavs.
That's interesting. That might pull me. That's going to give me some time to think about this. So the way I thought this series would break out here, I thought OKC would start that last game as they did. I expected them to go out there. They kind of got slapped in the mouth game one, series one. Then they went on and they rolled. Young team gets excited going into round two. They clip them as they did. I kind of thought this is another spot where the series isn't going to change until this goes back to Dallas. At least that's how it played out in my head. They win this one with their home fans. Whether or not they cover this big number, I don't like to see it coming back the other way. But then I think the series becomes alive when they go to Dallas. They roll back in and the big D out there. And Dallas, we might see a pick 'em depending on what happens with this game. So a little reserved on the side.
Yeah. I know. Wait, here, Mikey. Why too is this, everyone's on the Thunder everywhere you look and all the money and tickets. Why is this not moved?
And it's coming back down?
It's coming even a little spots. Yeah, there's 4.5s, at a lot of books. Not a ton, but mostly 5s. Why is this going to 5.5, 6, 6.5?
Yeah,
so the books have a little, they're pumping the brakes. They need the Mavs, obviously, but
I'm with you. I'm on the first half. I got the first half under 112. I added a little same game parlay, I guess, if you will. The under 218.5. And how about give me a little Tim Hardaway action over 5.5.
All right.
Plus 250 for this guy here. First game just the other day. So he hadn't played shit since April 21st. He don't look good at all. There's no question about it. But I'm trying to channel my my inner Billy Briz here. The bench player guy's kind of coming in there, getting the job done. He was 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. That was his first game back from April 21st. I don't know. I mean, they didn't. The Mavs overall didn't have a good 3-point performance, but they're going to need somebody to step up. It might as well be this guy for 5.5 points. This is that classic over 1.5 3-point scenario as well. If this guy gets rolling.
Yeah, he cashes both. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's a plus 154 spot. So not mad at anybody that wants to take that. The other spot that I added in there as well, first half under 112, the game under 218.5, and Hardaway over 5.5 points is plus 250. And then I went to Chet. Give me Chet. I went over 2.5 blocks. He's averaging 2.3 on the season. He's gone 3 or more in 3 of 5 playoff games as well. He's getting plenty of minutes too. It's not like he's getting the minute restriction opportunities out there. And I kind of have this sneaky suspicion between Chet and then obviously the slights that go into the defensive player of the years there. Chet might be playing with a little bit of that chip saying, fuck you, I'm still in the playoffs. Go eat shit, Wemby, and I'm going to go get your block title out there. So I like the over 2.5 blocks, plus 110. Even when he doesn't get a ton of minutes, he's been averaging over 31. But even when he had, 20, I think it was like 28 minutes, he still got 2 blocks in that game. So 2.5 blocks at plus 110, I thought was, suspicious.
I like the plus money. I like it. I know it is, but it seems like he gets, 3 or 4. Right.
It just kind of falls into that. It's the average spots. If we continue to take more guys in the average spots that they're hitting at plus money opportunities, that's going to give us a return over the long haul for that game. So I like it. I like this game going under. Clearly, you can see with the first half under and the full game under factor there. We're still on pace. We're still sitting around that 65% overall for some of these first half under spots there. We're still ahead of the overall 63% trend, but I think we see it come back to form tonight. I think these guys start to play a little more defense. Things got a little sloppy.
And real quick, it's like the second quarter, that crazy quarter. Crowds going wild where they got 39, and even the Mavs got 30. Because I'll take 67 points every time. That's what you need, 68 for me to lose. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's – and we've seen that a lot of these second quarters are the ones that seem to be where things kind of start to fall off the rails. And it was kind of that way in the first, and at least it felt like that to me in the first series of the NBA playoffs. Teams would come out in that first quarter, and it was just the second quarter that things started to kind of die down. And And then we were hitting a lot of those first half unders, even though they looked sweaty and scary, like they weren't coming through. That's kind of the recipe that we saw day in and day out. So I like it. I'm going to roll with it. I'm thinking this is the under spot. I got to think it. I don't want to go head to head with you. I did that once last week. It didn't work out so well for me. So I was thinking OKC Thunder, but I'm
just letting you know, it's public as all hell.
I know.
But it seems one thing is I think OKC wins this. Luka's not in the best health, but this has been the changing of the guard, and they lose, I think, to the T-Wolves. But that's how high I've been on the T-Wolves. You know that.
Yeah.
Since the series, I couldn't believe Phoenix Suns were minus 130 in that series. Just wild. It made me want to put a lot of money on it. But that's what I've seen, and I think this is it. Thunder, T-Wolves should be fun. Younger, little passing of all these old guys in these teams, lower markets. I love it.
I like when we get down to a smaller schedule like this, though, because I do have a lot of fun playing the player props, just kind of rooting them on kind of the game within the game. So that makes it fun for me. And the blocks are something I normally wouldn't be a fan of taking, but shout out the boys, Chet and Wemby turned my attention to the defensive plays this year, and we get some plus monies with them. So I like it. I like where we're at. Kelsey says, trust me, Luka is hungover. Kelsey said, Jason Tatum thinks the world is flat. Celtics minus 17. So that'll be fun. JW says the Brewers going to shell Gray tonight, huh? That's an interesting take. Our guy Ron Lofton says, any live bet shows tonight, Mike? Not that I'm aware of, but follow me on X. If I go live somewhere, I'll make sure to tweet it out there. I gotta be honest, I think I've got a stretch of like 15 straight live days going. I'm tired. I'm hurting a little bit, C-Mac.
I know. You're a live warrior.
Just a man here. You know what I mean? Steve G says it's hockey time. Good luck, everybody. Paco Healy in the house. What up, Paco? Says, let's go. Says, keep me skinny fat. That's his problem, too. Nasty Nate likes the Celtics and the over and a teaser. Perky says, need a Celtics smash down and sack punch. Put them fools away. Going to be a lot of fun. Kelsey's asking, who's clubbing the baby seals tonight? I think the Rangers are going to club them baby seals, but we will see what happens, you guys. Puck drop just moments away. Dustin in the chat. J-Dub says, OKC versus the T-Wolves Western Conference Finals. Battle of the Zoomers. Gen Z in the finals. Boston versus the T-Wolves. Joe T says, see ya, boys. Good luck, Mike and C-Mac. You guys have been great. We appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Busted up the numbers, continuing to grow on the regular. Hit that thumbs up button for us. On your way out the door, C-Mac, tell him what's going on in the world of Mega Mac, Daddy. What's going on with you, my guy?
Just check me out wherever. Connor Mac picks on X. Trying to get used to saying that. Mikey, and here, Pub Source Radio. Maybe we'll try to get live maybe in the next few days. Obviously, Saturday, UFC will be rolling, right, Mikey?
Big UFC stream. The boys will be rocking. You guys know you can go out there and enter the free $100
enter that
contest as well. So opportunity for some of that Pub Sports cash, trying to give back to you guys. You know we're listeners supported. It means a ton for you guys to become members and get in the green. It's $9.99 a month, but it helps us a ton continue to grow, develop in the infrastructure, and bring you guys more fun content and programming. Twice a week, they got the virtual pony races out there. I believe tomorrow is the day. Jimmy the Bag and Jose Bouquet.
Have you won one yet?
No. I haven't won one yet. Fucking.
You got a donkey. You got a fucking donkey.
He's a rat. He fucking he runs backwards. He doesn't run forward. He'll peak early, and then he just drops behind everybody. So I have to talk to Jose about maybe beefing up my percentage of win. I don't know. Maybe slip him a 5 or something. See what happens. But I know he's got a lot of stake bets out there. Maybe I'll cover one of his stake bets for it. But should be a lot of fun, you guys. We appreciate everything you guys coming in on the regular. You know we'll be back rolling it again. I see my guy Swig Bets drop the link for the contest there for the Pub Sports Radio UFC contest. We'll talk more about it again tomorrow, but it is right there on display for you guys. Your chance, all you do is pick the winner, pick the round, pick the style of the finish or decision, and stack rank and compete against all the personalities of Pub Sports Radio and then some, and get your chance to win a free $100. Until tomorrow, C-Mac, great job today as always. All we got to do now is get that cash, baby. Stay pub.
Peace.